Hey, you guys. So, I realized something today, and it's something about this thing called attraction. We're familiar with the law of attraction, but we're not really quite familiar with attraction when it comes to others, and also with integrating this in the body, okay? AKA hormones, all right? So, if you come from a family that has a lot of trauma connected to um, romantic abuse, experiencing hormones and attraction to someone, especially if communication has not been healthy, it can be very triggering. And you can somehow misinterpret its meaning, especially if you've had sexual trauma. So it's a good time to just really take the time to understand where you're coming from and realize that what you have experienced does not define you. And then to take the time to breathe so that you can understand how your body communicates with you to let you know what's going on, okay? There's not a one size fits all treatment for anyone. And back in the day, that used to take place. And now, individuals who used to try to restrict freedom of expression are realizing how it feels to have their freedom of expression restricted. So, we're going to be using the Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom Oracle cards. And if you're masculine, you can still watch this. This will also help you get tapped into your body as well, okay? Whatever messages from your body, but we're going to get like a community message. And then we're going to do a quick 3-pound pick a card. So let's get the community message, you guys. We have the beautiful card, Nurturance and Self-Care, Perfection versus Imperfection. And this is supported by self-expression, imagine, and allow. So you see these pictures? So I feel the community message is that as you're internally changing, your external will be changing as well. It's more of a glow up. With the imperfection standing out to me, it's like the imperfection aspect is projections of others' insecurities, and it's like you're releasing them. With the self-expression, you're allowing yourself to explore the fear of not letting others project onto you, knowing what they're capable of, and you're standing your ground. And this is beautiful. And because of it, your outer appearance, your skin looks really good. And your eyes are extremely beautiful. You have very beautiful lips. So, let's just say your glow up is showing individuals that being a carbon copy is not it. So it's having a lot of individuals who normally used to try to restrict self-expression. They're going through an identity crisis and they're unable to hide it at this point. So I guess we'll do this 3-pound pick a card. What are your imperfections telling you? You know, the projected insecurities that others told you that you were, and now you're realizing there's something much more you would like to experience in life. At the same time, you're understanding patience is required for the great big things, and your faith will be rewarded. So don't give up, all right? But yes, what are your imperfections telling you? And there's 3 pals. I'll see you at your pal or pals of choice. Thank you guys for being present. Hey, pal 1. Thank you guys for being present. What are your imperfections telling you? And the card already came out. Partnership. All right. Risk versus safety. with nurturance and self-care, hierarchy versus partnership. So you could be co-parenting with someone. There's a possibility. Or you guys could have tried to have a child together. Or there was a deep love where a child was very close to being born. And, yeah. Social standards were challenged in this relationship. You could be a single parent, and you could be co-parenting with someone who is afraid of external hate and disdain from others if they do not fit into a social norm. So with partnership, risk versus safety, you could have also have left a marriage, and you could have found yourself through parenthood. And what this is telling me, you're really just focused on being a healthy parent and self-expression, hierarchy versus partnership. But at the same time, you understand how it can be toxic to lose yourself and your children, because eventually your children will be independent and go their own way. And you don't want to continue toxic cycles of abuse with children. So I feel like Power One, you're just at a place where you're like, okay, if you are a parent, or if you will be a parent, you're probably, if you're not a parent, you're preparing for parenthood, but you're like, okay, my children have their own life paths to go. I have mine, and I would just simply like to be an example of a healthy parent, not only for my child, but for myself. So it's like you're allowing yourself to be who you always wanted to be when you were a kid. But at the same time, you're being responsible with it. So some may misinterpret your journey as you're very lavish and you have a lifestyle that's unattainable for most. But the reality is, I feel as if you're very smart with your finances and you only invest into what you want. And you finally just got to a point, Power One, where you're not going to allow yourself to invest into anything that's going to keep you from being happy. So, Power One, message from your imperfection is the way you live works for you. If someone else tries to copy it and it doesn't work out for them, their misinterpretation of not understanding their own energy is why they may project onto you. So, and with partnership here, you may be releasing yourself from toxicity. A partnership, it's one of the hardest karmic cycles to close out. So definitely be patient with yourself. And especially if you share a child with them. This isn't something where you're just like, okay, I had an epiphany, this is a toxic relationship, let me be a conscious parent for my child. This is something where you understand if you're co-parenting with a narcissist, especially if they're a female, it's going to be very difficult to leave. And those who don't understand the sacrifice that must come with that, well, you just have to hope and trust that they learn eventually, and if they don't, realize that your ancestors are taking care of them. And we're going to end it there. That was a very interesting message, Power One, but I do hope that you guys know. Get up, stand up for your rights, all right? Also, eat some healthy foods. It will help combat the depression that comes with being with a toxic partner, okay? You know? It'll help the children also, if children are involved, it'll help the children be able to not let that spirit of misery from that toxic parent, do too much damage long term, okay? All right? And I just had this joke. If the toxic parent is like, we're not going to eat any fruit because um, yeah, my sense of humor is interesting. Tell them to look up online and see what healthy families do. The toxic parent will do whatever the trends are. That way, you'll be able to help expose the toxicity of this parent long term, okay? All right, I'll see you guys later. Hello, Pal Tim. It's an honor to be here with you guys. So let's get, what messages are your imperfections telling you? We have enlightened heart and mind, perfection versus imperfection. So you're realizing that despite all of the projections that others have bullied onto you or into you, possibly, literally, they were afraid of you seeing what you are, and you have the essence of an earth angel. And they don't understand that earth angels are not here to fix their wounds. Earth angels are simply here to be a beacon of hope. However, some people like to cross those boundaries and get a little too close for comfort. So part of being an earth angel, in human form, Pal too, is you get to kick ass and whoop ass and look good while doing it. So, and the beautiful thing about these people who have projected heavily onto you, you know their weaknesses. Fertility and creativity, imagine and allow. This is saying, and there's a horse in the back. This is saying that you are protected as you go to and fro, to get justice for the injustices that have been done to you simply because you have a kind heart. Individuals who do not have kind hearts, they're not able to attract anything basically on their own. They will basically take whatever they can get by any means necessary. And they like to be very strategic in attaching themselves to individuals who, have a bit of influence and who are kind, but yet they like to emotionally manipulate so that they can get things. Now, if you have a whole bunch of narcissistic individuals trying to manipulate one kind person, this is creating identity crisis over time because each narcissist wants something different. And so narcissists start competing with each other when they start to see, hey, wait. You getting a little bit more than me. And this is where you could have started to realize I have to protect myself because I see no matter what I do, I'm never going to win with you guys. And you're starting to see the narratives that others created for you, the fear, what they were afraid of happening is not happening. Something completely different is taking place. And you're starting to just truly trust where you're being led. So Power 2, this is a very powerful reading. What signs are your imperfections telling you is that you the shit. And whatever gruesomeness you have experienced in life, you're still here. This means you know how to get through the test of times. And you know how to get through it, in a way that no one can ever understand. It's not meant for them to understand. They're meant to understand themselves. And if they're so focused on you, well, Pal 2, that just simply says, hey, it is what it is, at this point. You know you're safe and protected. You know that no matter what ill intentions others around you may have, they can't harm you because you're at one with yourself. They're only harming themselves because they're attracting others who choose to remain just as broken and fractured as they choose to remain broken and fractured. And all these attempts to shield with you is just literally making it more obvious that they are not at peace with themselves. Individuals will try to target people who are at peace with themselves but get quite frustrated easily. Impatience and emotional lack of emotional intelligence can get somebody killed. So if you have people around you that you're trying to get rid of, especially during Mercury retrograde, you set boundaries, but they still keep finding ways to snake their way back in through other people, realize they're going to take Mercury retrograde will take care of what you can't take care of, okay? And we're going to leave it at that, you know? The worst person that can sabotage you is yourself. The worst person that can sabotage you is yourself. I'll say it again for all the people in the back row. The worst person that can sabotage you is yourself. And we'll leave it at that. Have a good day, pal, too. Hello, Pal 3. Thank you guys for being here. Now, this message, I'm very excited because it's like a surprise message, but I'm trusting where it's going. So, all right, we got, okay. We have, partnership, complete and move on. Okay. Fertility and creativity, hierarchy versus partnership. Supported by partnership, risk versus safety. And self-expression, imagine and allow. So what this is telling me, Pal 3, message from your imperfection, you're learning to move past the fear of being hurt again emotionally, and you're creating the love life that you truly deserve. And I'm starting to see that you've had a lot of romantic partners dump their toxicity onto you because they didn't want others to see your worth or your value. They wanted others to view you as they viewed themselves, but they wanted you to believe that they were far more superior to you. This is not a relationship. If you have someone trying to dominate somebody, this is oppression. And I feel like, Power 1, you're starting to understand that anyone who is covertly trying to get a relationship so that they can dominate you literally will fall away on their own. And because of this, you're naturally attracting healthy romantic partners. And the romantic partners are mirroring to you how nothing is perfect. When you in that relationship, whether you're in it or not in it, you're going to have to deal with some real world issues. And if you're escaping in a relationship and not taking care of your issues, you understand what comes with it. So I feel as if you understand the responsibility that comes with having a well-balanced personal life and work life, Pal 3. And because of that, you're attracting others who are just as healthy as you. Now, the situations they may be in and you may be in, you may be working your way through it. So Spirit is simply saying allow open, honest communication, and that will help you see what healthy is and what toxicity that's hidden is, okay? Toxicity that's hidden, here's an example. Yes, I'm making all my dreams come true. I'm the person I always wanted to be. That's toxic because they're not able to tell you the process, how they're truly feeling. Healthy is, hey, you know, I did my best today at work. I had to deal with some idiotic individuals, and I became aware of some toxicity within myself. So I've been taking the time to meditate, and that's enough for me. Because I understand if I get my own way, I can get myself into trouble. While I'm being still, I may not like the being triggered by outside sources, but I can only control myself, and I'm trusting that I'm safe. So, Pal 3, we're going to end it here where I feel you're in a place of creativity because you understand there's no reason to get upset with people who are trying to make you upset because they're upset, because other people are making them upset. All right? Love, peace, and happiness.